Whether you need a good pick-me-up or just a good time, add a little magic to your glass with Friday's Margarita Midnight on All Things Pagan Radio. Flip the switch and let the cauldron bubble! Margarita Midnight!
Welcome to Margarita Midnight on All Things Pagan Radio. Care to browse the wine list? We have Raven's Brew from the Colorado Mountains, or we have a house favorite, a Scandinavian blend of Lindauer, or the signature drink, a tumbler full of Sorsha. And for the truly brave, we have Black Mark Rum.
Cool.
Oh, boo!
Yeah, first day of school here too, for Lilith, that is.
That's so fun for them. They really enjoy it.
Yeah.
I am so stuffed. The allergies have got me so bogged up today. It's unbelievable. I put eye drops in, taking everything. It's just not helping. I'm hoping it's not my animals that's causing this problem.
It's probably more something like a relative of wormwood. Yeah, I think you know.
Sinuses are bad. They're just bad. It's an allergy to something. Oh, it's terrible. Plus, I've been cleaning. We had to rearrange rooms, too.
That does it for me.
Yeah. Cleaning does it for me.
That's what you're allergic to housework.
You might have that, Mark. I've only been doing it since I could reach the kitchen sink. Well, I'm going to go ahead and call Kimberly McCulley. We're going to talk about herbs.
Hello?
Hi, Kimberly. This is Sorsha, and everybody else will introduce themselves to you.
Hi, I'm Linda.
I'm Raven. Hello, Raven. I'm Kimberly.
Invisible man.
And Mark's the invisible man. We're all invisible. We can't see each other. And Linda's from Norway, and Raven is from Colorado, and you know where I'm from. And Mark's from Canada.
Well, I'm from Newport, North Carolina, even though my page says from New York. Somehow I can't get it to switch.
Ah, you're incognito.
Yeah. Maybe they got us once, but who knows?
Kimberly, please tell us a little bit about yourself and your business.
Okay, well, my business is a spiritual shop. I handmake items and resell, including jewelry items. Fresh herbs also are at my shop. I do burned boxes, a little bit of everything. I think every witch out there does basically the same thing. We just rotate it around so it's available for everyone.
We do. I used to sell herbs. I used to have a business called Moon Dancing Herbs.
Awesome.
I used
did it for
to
about
sell
10 years.
and smoke bundles and all kinds of things.
And I made altar cloths, but the herb business is very hard because most pagans grow their own.
Unfortunately, in this area, there really isn't very many that grow their own. It could be how the soil or something is.
Oh, you're lucky then.
I'm just blessed.
Well, tonight's topic is about herbs. Isn't that a nice one?
That's awesome.
So, who would like to begin, Linda?
And I have one up on cold and flu season.
Oh, that's coming up, too.
Oh, yeah. So, I don't know what's most interesting to start with.
Well, whatever you recommend, possibly for cold and flu season.
Yeah. Most of what I've got are remedies because of the laws in some places. EU is pretty strict on medical advice when you're not medically trained. And I understand some states in the US are the same. So I try to keep my online stuff at the remedy level. So, stuffed nose, maybe?
Besides sticking Vicks up there, yeah. Or I use eucalyptus oil in water, and I put my head over a steam water and drop a couple drops of eucalyptus oil and breathe it in for a little while.
Yeah.
That helps.
You can put it in a small spray bottle and spray it on your sweater or your scarf as well.
Hola Vicks smell.
I wouldn't want to put Vicks up your nose, though.
Ow, neither.
I just put it at the bottom end there, right at the bottom, not in it.
Yeah.
Then I can sniff. My husband goes, "Ooh, you smell so sexy."
And for small kids, you can put a couple of drops of eucalyptus oil on the pillow. But the pillow will be full of snot.
What an awful. Isn't that an awful word?
Yeah.
What's the polite? I mean, the nice way of saying that. Runny nose even kind of gross.
This is the correct term, I think.
Mucus among us. Taught by Mark.
Huh? Sorry, I was 1,000 miles away. I was trying to remember a home remedy for allergies.
Your computer head brain is stuck, huh?
Yeah.
Do we have any names for a stuck computer head brain?
Yeah, they're called blunt objects.
Please consult your physician and educate yourself on herbal use before trying any of these recipes. Thank you very much.
Oh my goodness. Well, I wouldn't mind that either, because at my age, my folders in my brain get stuck. I don't know if the kids left bubble gum in there or something, but they just don't open some days.
I do know that for people who drink a lot of herbal tea, if you mix ginseng in it, it'll, like powdered ginseng in small amounts.
Yeah.
Helps.
Yeah, I've heard that. Thank you for reminding me, Mark.
You're welcome.
I also found some herbal advice for sinus infections, because they seem to pop up everywhere these days. I've seen friend after friend go down with sinus infections, so I start posting that page to their Facebook every time.
So now you have a new friend that does it.
Just check up the last person.
Well, you're checking. While you're checking, Kimberly, do you have any remedies that you might recommend for?
Well, I can say what I've used for myself. I am in one of those states where you're supposed to have, medical background before you give advice to anyone other than seeking it from a doctor. So I can state that I've used for myself and my family, I've used horehound tea, and it helped break up the congestion in your chest. It also helped clear my nasal cavities. Onion tea and garlic together actually busted up pretty well too, from what I found from my own experience.
Yeah.
Oh, you just drink it like make a tincture with it? Drink it like a tea?
You can steep it like a tea and drink it. That's what we have done in my family.
Ooh, I'll try that.
And for, it's pretty good for the common cold.
Yeah.
And
Yusuf also might work the same way. Just dislodge any thick mucus settling in your lungs and sinuses. That's one of the very few plants that survived in my herb bed. 4 things have survived. The hyssop, the wormwood, the lungwort, and the thyme. The rest are gone.
I've got a lot of harvest to still do. You want me to mail you some, Linda? What you need?
What I need? You can't ship herbs to Norway. Customs.
Oh.
I shipped them to Canada. Oh, here's a nice one. You can add ginger root and cayenne pepper to everything you eat when you're congested. So if you like strong food, that might be.
You mean more like hot and spicy?
Yeah, hot and spicy food. Indian food.
That could be why I'm stuffed up, because I can't do hot and spicy.
Oh, I can't do that either.
Do you like garlic?
Oh, I love garlic.
Yeah, you do
that.
Yeah.
That's good for any infection.
My book's broken out around me over here.
Yeah.
Looking at research.
Garlic is also good for ear infections. You wrap it in, for what?
The garlic's good for everything. It's like,
it's more like anti-infection.
We cook a lot with it, too, here, because we eat a lot of Filipino foods and Oriental dishes, and they use a lot of garlic.
Yeah, you can use
and ginseng.
It's really good for you. Garlic is really excellent for your body.
Ooh, as a rub? I'll do a garlic rub with my hubby tonight. Honey, this is a new witchy thing, honey. Let's do it.
Maybe I should do that, and Johnny would run. He hates the smell of garlic.
Well, they say it to a man's heart is through his stomach, so if I smell like food, maybe.
We'll be back in a few.
Welcome back to All Things Pagan Radio's Margarita Midnight. The topic tonight is herbs.
Sorry, I found an antihistamine for you.
What?
Stinging nettle.
Oh, I may have some of that. How would I use it?
Tinctures, teas. Some use it with capsules as well, but that's too much work for me.
Oh, have I tried? I bought the little capsule thingy, and you try to put that. Oh no.
Nah, too much work.
Nah.
Messy. So teas, tinctures, it's supposed to act like a natural antihistamine.
Ah, well, that's great news for all of you out there that have sinus problems like me. Can't breathe on some days.
Yeah, and stinging nettle is very good in food as well. You can use it as spinach. Same ways as spinach. Just use it. Even in the green juicing thingy.
I work with a lot of essential oils more than I do herbs. I do have herbs, but I seem to, myself, I cling a lot with essential oils and salves and balms that I make. Mainly the only way I take herbs is if I can drink them.
I was going to say about garlic rub, but Linda already brought that up. I found out recently for ear infections, too, if you take a fresh clove of garlic, you peel it, you wrap it in gauze, and you put it in your ear. Like, not like jam it right in there so it stabs your brain, but just a little bit, and you hold it in there. Half an hour to an hour, it'll take down the pain, the swelling.
Wow.
Yeah, you can also drip juice from fresh ginger to ease the pain.
Yeah. For anybody who is a smoker, or if their significant other is a smoker, tobacco smoke actually helps ear infection.
I was just going to tell you that. Yeah. You could blow it in the ear, and you blow the smoke into the ear, and you put a cotton ball there. That's an old remedy.
Yeah, my mother taught me that one. She used to smoke.
Yeah, my husband gets a lot of ear infections because his ear nasal canal is too straight. So he usually just puts some cotton in his ear and goes to bed. And maybe even with a knit hat on, just to get it warm. Because it softens everything and makes it move.
Yeah, has anybody ever tried those ear candles?
Mm-mm. I haven't had an ear infection since I was a kid, so.
The ear candles, and they're made with a wax. You take a gauze, sort of like a cone, and you put it on your ear. They're really long, and you put the one in your ear, and you light the other end, and it supposedly pulls the wax and stuff out of your ear.
I've been reading things about it being a...
My son used it. Now, it's kind of gross, but yeah, there was stuff that... What happens is, it's something to do with the heat.
Yeah, it makes things move.
The oxygen.
Yeah, but the problem is that the wax isn't the issue. The issue is the inflammation in your ear. So what the heat does,
Yeah, you wouldn't use it during an infection.
Has anybody ever tried warming up a little bit of olive oil on a spoon and putting a couple drops in their ear for ear infections?
I've heard of that, but I haven't used it.
Yeah, the doctors here even recommend that. The sesame oil is better, though, because olive oil might have some bacteria and stuff in it. So but they say just a little bit, a couple of drops of heated oil, it eases the pain.
And loosens up the whatever's clogging it up there.
And here they don't want to give kids antibiotics unless they absolutely have to. Because of bacteria getting resistant. You don't want to give them antibiotics for anything. And normally before the antibiotics have done their work, it's resolved anyway.
But I would avoid it as all possible. They'll say, well, that'll stop they'll outgrow their colds and stuff like that as a child, especially when they're in a daycare setting, whatever. They're going to get them left and right.
Oh, yeah.
You know, my daughter got a couple of daycare colds and stomach bugs, but since she was 3, she hasn't really been ill.
That's good, because I know around here, my grandkids always come, when I was watching them, they always came home with a stuffy nose, runny nose, coughs. It was a constant. Yeah. And that has a lot to do with them not keeping the areas clean that the kids are around all the time.
Yeah, and not teaching them to wash their hands.
Wash their hands.
Please consult your physician and educate yourself on herbal use before trying any of these recipes. Thank you very much.
Okay, another herb besides the nasal one. We talked about cold. So what other ways, like I use my other herbs for baths, tinctures, not always medicine, okay?
Yeah, say I use them for cosmetics, for magic, crafts, just about any way you can use them.
Yeah, well, I've learned to take my herbs and I make beads with it now, and I also make a pentacle out of herbs. I have this mold that I made, and I just take the herbs and I crush them really small, and then I add a little bit of flour to it with a little water, and I make the mixture where it sticks, and then I put it in the mold, and then I let it dry, and I pop it out, and then I have a pentagram. It's about 3 inches in diameter, which I carry with me when I'm going outside. So if anything ever happens, I need to kind of like unload my things, I can just crumble it to the ground, and it's free.
Yeah.
For safety measures. But I've even made little ones to carry with me, like if I have to go to court, or I have to go encounter a situation that I really don't want to encounter.
Do a shameless self-plug.
Oh, everybody listen up. Linda's going to tell you her book.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm excited for that book to come out.
I'm going to put it up on CreateSpace, so it comes up on Amazon. So I'll be able to order copies outside as well.
Okay, tell us about it.
It's called Wonderful Weeds, The Forgotten Resource.
Weeds.
Yeah.
Not the other kind of weed we know a lot about.
Weeds. Not weeds, weeds. And not a TV show either. So it's about common weeds, what you can use them for. I put 24 different weeds in there. And added medical, magical, cosmetic, culinary, crafts, and some fun little facts to boot. And I did all the illustrations myself.
When you get it ready, please post it on All Things Pagan Radio and Margarita Midnight.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll be posting that link. I'm just waiting for the editors who were supposed to have it ready for today.
Ooh, it'd be nice.
That would be awesome.
And I'm here. I'm reformatting it for so it'll be on Kindle, EPUB, PDF, and in print.
I'm added to my library. And speaking of the other weeds, I have a detox tea. You take 2 parts dandelion root, 2 parts burdock root, 2 parts red clover blossoms, 2 part chamomile, 1 part alfalfa, and not Spanky in our gang, 1/2 part licorice, 1 part hibiscus, and 1 part rose hips. It's designed to help rid the liver of blood and organs of toxins. And it also provides vitamins and minerals. You take about 1 teaspoon of the herb blend, and you steep it in the water for about 20 minutes, and then you can drink it up. 3 or 4 cups a day only, though.
Yeah, I got one for pain that most people don't know of. Colt's foot. Most people only hear of it as a cough remedy. But that was what saved me when I started researching herbs. Because I have a chronic joint issue. And I didn't have the money. I needed to go to the doctors all the time.
Well, but that help was like for arthritis, because I have arthritis.
I don't know how well it works for arthritis, but it's worth trying it. But the problem is you can't use more than 6 grams of the alkaloid a year because it goes straight on your liver. So it's emergency only thing. But it's right. You make a tea, drink it as piping hot as you can, and by the time you finish the cup, you're pain.
Don't fly off yet. We'll be back with more on herbs on Margarita Midnight on All Things Pagan Radio.
Greetings! I'd like to tell you about an opportunity to advertise your business on All Things Pagan radio station. Why advertise on All Things Pagan Radio? The advantage radio advertising offers your business stems from its unique combination of high reach, high targetability, and low cost. Advertising on All Things Pagan Radio can be a very effective means to attract new customers. The radio station format is Pagan Variety. The cost of All Things Pagan Radio advertising? The radio station's estimated ad rate is $45 per month. Advertising rate is for a business 60-second MP3 audio spot, and your ad airs 3 times a day for 30 days, which is 90 airtime spots. Who creates your business radio ad? Well, you do. All ads are subject to approval. If you cannot create your business 60-second MP3 audio ad, with 1 phone call, Sorcha and Raven can create the business ad with you. If you have any questions, and for more information, feel free to contact us via email at advertising@allthingspagan.com.
Welcome back to All Things Pagan Radio's Margarita Midnight. The topic tonight is herbs.
Sorcha, I found an antihistamine for you.
What?
Stinging nettle.
What's in the tea?
Colt's foot.
Just Colt's foot?
Yeah.
Oh.
Pay attention, Sorcha.
Leaves.
Oh.
Colt's foot leaves, the big ones that come after the flower, and you have to make sure you pick the ones who don't have the rusty spots on them. Because that's a fungi that messes with a lot of things. I dry it. I cut it up. I wash it and I dry it because the leaves are pretty thick, so you can't dry them whole.
Because I usually just rinse mine off and shake them really good, and then I hang them.
Yeah, I gave it to a friend of mine, and she used it for her father-in-law's diabetes sores as well. Mm-hmm. And she actually got them to shrink.
I use a lot of home remedies that my grandmother gave me and my mother, and they've all seemed to work. Like when you're really wound up, oh my goodness. I can't recommend enough catnip tea. It's so underrated, but it's such a calming drink.
And it's great for your hair.
Oh, I got much hair.
You can use it after, as a rinse after you wash, and it's supposed to make your hair better.
Well, Mark, Raven, Kimberly, tell us some ideas you have on remedies or herbal magic?
I got one for arthritis. Like, my aunt has rheumatoid arthritis in pretty much all her joints. She can barely stand up on her own. She can't drive, she can't work, she can't do anything. And one day I made her up a liniment with 4 ounces of olive oil and 1 ounce of camphor oil.
I'll try it.
On a road trip, she was in no pain at all. She slept better than she slept since she can remember.
Raven, you have anything?
Well, when my kids get, like, stomach aches, they ask for tea with a mint in it. It helps with their stomach aches that they get randomly.
My daughter always asks to do some yoga when she gets a stomach ache. Yeah, she gets some... She learned a couple of yoga moves, and it seems to help. So she always asks for it. And can you give me a tummy rub?
Mint does help. Mint is very good. If you have a hard time thinking, I'll go and make me a cup of mint tea.
Peppermint
and then my brain starts...
I do that with mugwort. If I'm trying to think, if I have a problem and I'm trying to think up a solution, I usually stuff my pipe full of mugwort, and by the time I'm done, I usually have the problem solved.
Please consult your physician and educate yourself on herbal use before trying any of these recipes. Thank you very much.
Kimberly, do you have anything you'd like to add?
Well, I have ideas about dealing with migraines. I mean, feverfew is really good for it. Black pepper or red pepper, cayenne pepper is good to help open the ventricles in your mind, so your pain goes away from your migraines and you get over them faster.
Yeah, feverfew you have to take when you feel one coming on, isn't that? You can keep them in the chew the leaves.
It's like, well, I've taken it with it right in the middle or at the full blown of it with the red pepper, and it seemed to work just fine. It eased it off within 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Then the feverfew I would take as a tea at the beginning of it, and it would weave it away.
Plus, some of the toxic herbs we need to be very careful with.
Yeah, I've come across a lot of people who claim that it's perfectly safe to use mandrake, belladonna,
tonka bean.
Lecture them on the difference between a safe dose and a lethal dose and how small that difference is.
Yeah.
By the end of my lecture, really quite.
You also have to be careful when you're pregnant. There's a lot of herbs you can't even handle while you're pregnant.
I usually say pregnant women don't use herbs.
Yeah, that's about the safest way.
What effect it'll have on you. It's so different from one woman to another, and just something like raspberry, even though it's sometimes recommended for morning sickness, it can cause a miscarriage.
Yeah.
So
we were told to eat crackers.
I ate ginger snaps
to get out of bed.
Morning sickness.
Oh, I do bath salts too, and it's not the kind you smoke.
Oh, please, not those.
Well, they get them confused now.
Yes, they do. People are weird.
Yeah, well, it's like Epsom salt. That's what I use, and baking soda. Yeah. And if you want to smoke it, you be the dumb you know what to do it. You're a little bit off their rockers. Oh, that's incense. Let me smoke it.
Wow.
Who was the first person that did that? I mean, and like it's the same person that said, ooh, spray paint. Let me sniff that too.
Yeah, right.
Where do people get these ideas? What's wrong with your brain?
Common sense. I guess, well, some people don't have it.
Some people clearly lack it.
And I use the herbs for incense. We use them for baths, salts, and sobs. Gosh, it's endless. We actually could do quite a few shows on herbs alone.
I probably could. I got 1,600 pages of info on it, plus the stuff on my blog.
Well, incense, you guys know that I love making them. My husband doesn't like it when I do it. Because I have to, but I've learned now to let them sit for a few days. They always smell much better. I've got numerous incense recipes that I've created for the altar, and then oils, that we use for ointments or blessing oils, etc. Go through my little black book.
It's gotten more acceptance now to use them for fragrance and aromatherapy and food, but people seem to forget that they can make free cosmetics.
Yes. Very simple stuff, too.
Yeah.
Wash your hair and rinse it with beer.
Yeah, or wash it with nettle and get rid of the dandruff.
Yeah. That flaky stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Or help you sleep. It's just, and I love when I open up my essential oil cabinet. But I do recommend highly, do not work with a lot of herbs at one time. You will not sleep the next day. That night, you will not sleep.
Yeah, and don't take a lot of different stuff in one day either. Because they might, same as medication, they might interact. In some way that wasn't.
Well, listeners, if you have any great recipes you'd like to share with everybody, post it on our Facebook page, either Margarita Midnight or All Things Pagan Radio. Ooh, I got a fertility incense. Anybody wanting a baby?
I got a fertility tea made from red clover.
Well, you could almost drink this except for the rose oil. I probably wouldn't. It's nutmeg, sandalwood, dried fig, cinnamon, and honey. Yeah, I guess you could make a tea with it.
Yeah, you could substitute rose oil for rose petals.
Yeah, I have a lot of rose. Our bees here like to mess with our rose plants. Every rose bush we've planted is not the same as it was. We have a white rose, and it's called a JFK rose bush, and it was gorgeous the first year. And then the next year, roses were red. 3 years later, now it's a viney rose bush with little pinkish red flowers.
Yeah.
And it's the same plant. Every year to see what the bees are going to do, to see what comes up next.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we call it a night.
Yeah, I gotta go cook dinner for Winter Dove, so I will talk to you guys later.
All right. Thanks for being a guest, Kimberly.
Thanks for inviting me. I really enjoyed it.
Well, maybe we'll kind of have you come back.
I would love to. I'd gladly do that for you guys. It is fun. I'm having a great time.
So did I. All right, we're going to say goodbye to Kimberly.
Good night, listeners.
Night.
Night, listeners. We'll see you next Friday. Catch you guys later. Love you all.
Love you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Whether you need a good pick-me-up or just a good time, add a little magic to your glass with Friday's Margarita Midnight on All Things Pagan Radio. Flip the switch and let the cauldron bubble. Margarita Midnight.
Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next Friday. Blessed be.
What do you get when you cross a Zen Buddhist and a Druid? Someone who worships the tree that is not there.
I am pagan, and I'm proud. I am pagan, gonna shout it loud. I am pagan, want the world to know that I follow the goddess 'cause she rocks my soul.